So Rick Ross is getting in trouble now from an NFL star named Tyreek Hill because he live reported the burning down of his house.
Let me find out Rick Ross is a journalist for real.
He think he is. So I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people have been feeling mixed ways about this online.
Right.
So a lot of people are saying that Rick Ross is in the wrong. I also could see how he could easily have made a mistake, but it seems like in Rick Ross fashion, apologizing is not one of the boss's like highest priorities. But this clip of the NFL players, or the NFL player and some other players, ex-players talking about it is crazy, and his response is even wilder. But this is the first video.
Like I said, I'm down in Miami there. But I'm sitting there one day on radio, and the whole thing is about your goddamn house being on fire. Bro, what the hell happened?
Bro, I was at practice when it happened. Crazy. First of all, I just want to say, Rick Ross, bro, I can't vibe with you now, bro. I can't with you no more, bro. Oh, my grandparents calling. Hello? Rick Ross, man. Like, you ain't even come over. You had the audacity to talk to a fireman instead of come text. You got my number, bro. You get on Twitter, posting me all over Twitter. Like, after what me and my family went through. You supposed to be the neighbor, the neighborhood hero. But yeah, man, I was at practice.
Freddie lived there too. You know
That's
him.
funny. But
Freddie lived there.
You saw my story?
Oh, okay.
You see me say anything.
He didn't say nothing.
I didn't say a
I was
thing.
getting the updates.
Andy hit my line. By the time
My
I got
name
out there,
Bennett.
it was 16 fire trucks.
Bro.
I was in the house. I was actually on the treadmill doing cardio. I went out there. I'm like, what the f? I walked.
Talking about 2020.
This ain't good.
Some funny ass joke.
And then she was trying to get to work, and you know, I seen Rose over there. I think it might be electrical because the smoke is dark.
And then you want to say something about Wingstop on there. I'm like, yo,
Gotta plug the business.
what's going on? Don't try to use me for promotion.
Well, I mean, on the news they got commercials. Rick Ross is like, here we go.
I'm trying to make sure my stores is making money.
He's the biggest boss for a reason.
Period.
So this is the actual video of Rick Ross reporting on it. And to be honest, I can kind of feel where Tyreek coming from, because it's like, this is a little bit much, bro. Like
You're
he
doing
really
a lot.
went crazy.
Electrical fire because the smoke.
And see, look, I thought they were joking about the electrical fire. I thought that was a joke. He came in.
He thinks he's a fire marshal and can tell what the cause of the fire is. You're a
It's
journalist,
black
a
smoke.
rapper, a businessman, a fire
He's
marshal.
multi-talented. I love Rick
What
Ross.
doesn't he do?
It's getting thicker and thicker as the fire trucks stand here. More and more helicopters.
Not
he
the
take,
selfie.
Did he take a selfie with it?
It's
God is great. It's unfortunate. The house caught on fire across the street, but you know, I checked with the firefighters. There's no one that was injured.
He really did go talk. This is not jokes.
They were not joking. They were not lying. He was like, I did check with the firefighters.
Well,
Nobody got hurt.
Rick Ross starting to get up there. This is old nigga shit.
It is.
This is
When you ain't got nothing else to do at
got
home.
Nothing to do. I'm just about to go
what
be
Kevin
in my...
Hart said, he in the screen door all day
Hey, just-
looking for shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what?
Everybody was out of the house. Fire's under control. God bless the homie. You already know. God is great. It's
Yeah, he doing old nigga shit
He
for
went and checked on
sure.
everybody, talked to the firefighter. What do you don't run the neighborhood. He's
And
like,
then you ain't call your boy and tell him
that's
nothing
what I'm
about his
saying.
house.
And this the thing. I really don't think Rick Ross meant any harm. I think he was just being Rick Ross. But
It was
I
just
think,
in poor taste, that's all.
yeah, but here's my thing. If anybody else does this, it's not a big deal. Like, if you do
Right.
this to your neighbor, it's maybe not that big of a deal. But when you got like fucking 30 million followers,
Yeah,
and
that's a big
you are
deal.
Rick Ross, and now, like, yeah, maybe you didn't break the story, but it's a whole different energy on it because
Right.
you are talking about it.
Right.
Like, to be honest, like, I didn't know. I've heard of Tyreek Hill, but like Rick Ross is way more famous in my book.
Right,
In most
right,
people's
right.
books. So a lot of people who wouldn't even heard about this is now.
And that could have been under the rug, a smaller story, not that big of a deal. Now it's a big ass
now
story.
it's Rick
Everybody
Ross
in this
commented on
right,
it. They're gonna post your video on it.
Exactly.
Like-
and he was not very secretive about hiding addresses in this video. That video can easily give away their location.
Look, and so Rick Ross did the worst or best, depending on who you ask, non-apology ever. And it would have a
He's
little...
good at those.
Oh my God, Rick Ross didn't. It was not fulfilling. If I was getting apologized to, I'll be probably more angry.
Half-ass apology.
So this was his apology.
I wasn't picking on you, homie.
And first of all, let me throw this out here. Rick Ross gonna get these advertisements off.
Oh,
He's gonna have the bottle right next to him.
And he probably got on, is it a Wingstop shirt?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Is it a
I wasn't
Wingstop
picking
hat?
on you at all. First of all, I'm assuming you are all pro, wealthy, great homeowners insurance who gonna go get new porcelain floors, marble walls, pillars. So it ain't nothing to pick on you about. More importantly, your beautiful mother and your family was straight. They were straight. I didn't film none of them, homie. And let's not act like I'm the one that premiered the fire to the world. It was 5 helicopters circling.
But Rose was on the ground.
Right.
Rose was on the ground. You had the best look.
Over your crib and my crib. We stay right across the street from each other. I didn't post you and your girl outside. I didn't post mom. None of that. But it was everywhere, homie. But I was on your podcast before. I always you. I come on my podcast. It only makes sense. Biggest. And on another note, I just don't like the way the fire department.
Like he ended this shit, came back. You know what? And also, what I don't like.
Let me come back and finish something. My bad. Let me
dealt
finish
with the
something.
fire. They let the house smoke 45 minutes.
She got details.
Once the fire burnt through the ceiling,
What?
it was 15 fire trucks on the street. Only one was spraying water into the ceiling. The fire burnt for another hour. With all that commotion going on, when you say, Tyreek, when you mentioned I spoke to the fireman, I asked the fireman, could your mother come and have a seat? With everything that's going on, that's what I asked the fireman. And Tyreek,
Oh my God.
I would love for you to bring that vert, the car that you got out there, to the car show June 1st.
Rick Ross don't give a
You
damn.
advertising your car show, your bottle. Like what? This man that was the worst
That is a
non-apologetic
terrible-
apology.
That's a terrible apology.
I was just caring about your family. I was looking out for you, homeboy. What?
I asked the firefighter if your mother can have a
If she
seat.
could have a seat. Just take her a lawn chair, Rick.
You could have
Like
just asked her.
something,
though.
right? Like, is she under investigation?
Rick Ross
Let her
is in
sit
the
down.
mix. The problem was Rick Ross feel like he supposed to be in the mix because he Rick Ross. But certain times you ain't supposed to be in the mix, bro. Nobody asked you to come do this
Sat
recording.
down somewhere.
Like, so that's the whole thing. And
Old
then
ass.
your apology was. I don't even think that was an apology.
There was no apology.
He
in
never
there.
apologized.
There was
he was
no
like,
apology.
Look, you rich, so
I knew you were straight, so why would I not say something? Because it's funny. We know you're
and
gonna
that's the
get
thing.
porcelain
Even
walls.
if someone has money, I've had my house burned down, lost everything. I've had
That is not a good feeling.
multiple people in my family has happened to them. Like for some strange reason, I just seen it happen like 3 or 4 times in person, including myself.
Wow.
So it's like I don't know, like a fucking curse. But at the
Remind
end
me
of-
not to invite you anywhere I go.
I've seen it happen too many times. And so, like, that's one of the worst, like, regardless if you have money or not.
Right.
It's one of because it's things that's going to burn up that you can't get back. And that you can't-
Irreplaceable.
Exactly. And even just the stress of having to relocate. Like, it's an ordeal of the highest
to
order.
say the least.
Like, it's probably as close as you could, it's probably as close as you can get to, like, losing someone. You know what I'm saying? Or something happening to you. So
because if you lose the memory of that person, then you've lost them again.
Exactly.
It
So
sucks.
it's very like terrible. I don't give a damn how much money you have. Like, yeah, it's a lot easier, of course, if you got $1 million. But
Right,
it is
right.
not the same thing.
It doesn't replace the invaluable things that you have.
Exactly. And it's just and it doesn't bring you joy to watch someone sit there and
Hey, bro,
FaceTime your shit. You know what I'm saying? Screen record. I mean,
Like, why?
nah, bro, we ain't got to do that.
get people out my business.
So I don't think, and I don't think Rick Ross meant any harm, and I don't even think he meant any harm by doing a response. I think Rick Ross is being Rick Ross.
Yeah, and it's like, what do you expect from him? He's just that old neighbor at this point
He's
that
just
he ain't
in
got
it.
shit to do, and
He
he
on
just
it.
looking
Hey, man,
at the screen door.
Rick Ross probably about touching 50 by now.
Man, he said, get
Sitting
out
at
the
home,
bowl.
he got this big ass house. He's just outside doing shit. That's half his content now is just Rick Ross on adventures by himself.
I'm telling you, him and Khaled got to get together. That would make sense. They both getting old doing silly stuff. It would make so much sense.